Cause I come to find, no matter who you are a
Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. So last week we did a video, affordable barbershop fragrances. And this week I wanted to take it to Gourmands because I do love Gourmands. You know, as I get older and sort of more into this fragrance experience, journey, whatever, like I'm definitely sort of finding out that I like things a little bit less sweeter and maybe cloying than I did before. But like, if you've watched me for a long time, I think you know that I've always said that I find that women like guys to smell two ways. I feel like when it's warm out, they want them to smell fresh and clean. And for me, like aromatic fougères really sort of do that job, citrus fragrances. And then when it's cold out, you know, they want them to smell sort of edible, gourmand, you know, good, but not in a feminine way. So I really do like gourmand fragrances. Now, with that said, you know, the reason I'm doing this sort of style of video, you know, is because I really think that everyone has a right to smell good regardless of price. Like fragrances should not be price inclusive. Like you really can spend any amount of money and smell the way you want to smell. And, you know, anyone who's telling you that that's not true, that there's like an entry point, is just nonsense. Like they're lying to you. There'll be subtle differences, but like, yeah, you might not be able for $10 to be able to smell like some Raja Dove fragrances, but we can get you close enough at a little higher money at all different fragrance points. So let's go through Gourmands. So I think last week we started at like a $20 point, but I said, hey, like, you know, if you can pony up $5, you can smell a good fougere would be Pinot Club Man, which is an aftershave, but it lasts longer than you think. And similarly here, I'm going to say if you have $5, $10, maybe to get it delivered online, you can wear Al Rehab's Choco Musk. Is it the most complex gourmand? No, definitely not. Is it a little bit cloying and sweet? Yeah, it is. It really smells like dark chocolate and musk. That's exactly what it says. This is the oil, the roll-on, but I paid $5 for this. A 6, 7 maybe delivered. I would recommend getting the spray if you can. I couldn't find the spray when I bought this years ago, so I just got the Choco Musk roll-on. But this is a $5 gourmand fragrance that's good. It's a chocolatey fragrance. As long as you don't go heavy on this, you can do well with this. You will smell like chocolate musk if you want to smell like that. You know, I'm not going to show it, but if you can spend a little bit more, you know, you can definitely get Jovan's Secret Amber, and that's a very gourmand ambery fragrance that's actually pretty good, you know, like it's got a very sort of heavy syrupy vanilla. It's not like gonna blow anyone away, but like it's a very good entry point amber fragrance, and it definitely has like gourmand vibes to it. It's called Secret Amber by Yvonne. It sort of smells like Ragba and 24 Gold. So I think that's like $10, $15 online. So in that $20 price point, there's a fragrance, if you want to spend like $20, $25, called Animal Animal. Let me see if I can get this up a little bit more. Boom, there we go. Animal Animal. Look it up by that. Because there's another Animal that's not as good. You need Animal Animal. This is a $25 fragrance, and the fragrances you'll see compared to on Fragrantica are the first Angelman Pure Havan, and Angelman Pure Mold. And that's a good thing, because to me, it smells like all of those fragrances. It like smells like a combination of Terry Mugler, Angelman Flankers. And this came out before Angel or any of the Flankers. This is a 1994 fragrance. It's got honey in it. It's got pineapple. It's got vanilla. It's got lavender. There's florals in this one. I think it's a gourmand. It's categorized as an amber woody, but for me, it's a gourmand, and it smells like a combination of pure malt and pure Havana. So if you can spend like $20, you can get a pretty good sort of gourmand fragrance with Animal Animal. Now, if you can spend in that like designer price range, you've got a ton of options. The one that I really like, and I think this is like a $60, $70 fragrance, you can find discounted. This is Valentino Womo. I was gonna pick Dior Homme, but this is a little bit more gourmand than Dior Homme. This has like a hazelnut note to it. It's still, I think, it's got that creamy like iris thing going on, but it's not as irisy as Dior Homme. There's chocolate in this one. There's coffee. There's hazelnut. It's really good. It's a gourmand. So in that, like, you know, I would say like $80, $70, $80 price range, you could do this. You could do Dior Homme. You could do Salvatore Ferragamo Womo. Wonderful, wonderful gourmand fragrance with, I think, a tiramisu note. So there's a lot of options in that designer price range if that's your budget. Now, if we're going to like the $100 price range, one that I really enjoy and I feel like a lot of people sleep on is a Lamb on Fire Paris LA. I've gassed this one up for I don't know how long, and I think with good reason. This is a really good fragrance. It is a gourmand through and through, and this sort of idea behind this one was Paris. What represents Paris? Paris will macaron cookies, which are not macaroons, which are the coconut joints. Macarons are the ones that are made from like the sugar ganache with the I forget the name of the shell. Something makes up like the outside of them. If you just look them up, they're spelled Macarons. It's not a ganache. It's like a God. I can't believe I can't think of the name. It's like a hardened egg white, and that makes up the outside of them, and then the insides are filled with different flavored creams. But this has that to represent France and sort of pastry. That's the Paris part of it, and then the LA part of it is Coca-Cola. So this is like, man, this is so good. This is like a sweet, creamy gourmand fragrance. I feel like there might be some ambroxan. There's definitely a nice musk note in here. It's just really, really, really good. And this is about, I think, $110 you can get a bottle of this for. So this is a great gourmand also in this sort of price category, because not many people are going to smell like this. This is a unique one. There are some fragrances that, meringue, that's the name of what I was saying. It's like a hardened meringue on the outside of the macaron. But this is a pretty unique fragrance. There's not too, fragrance, I'll tell you what this does kind of smell like. If you've ever smelled Cedra Atlas by Atelier, which is a good fragrance, this is a little bit reminiscent of that. This is way more gourmand. It's got that nice fizzy Coca-Cola thing in here. There's some lime, there's some ginger, and there's that really nice sort of Parisian pastry note in here. So this is like $110. Now, this fragrance around the $150 price point, you might be able to get this cheaper, but I think like the bottles that were sitting around in old packaging have sort of all been sold. And so now I think you kind of have to get this for retail. But if you can spend like $150, this is from the Artisan Parfumé, and this is called a Traversée du Bois 4. This is an excellent gourmand, and another one that you're just not making. Don't worry, people are not going to smell like you with this one. This is a Bertrand Duchaufour fragrance. It's from 2010. For whatever reason, the fragrance community kind of slept on this one, and this one is sort of meant to be. It was inspired by Bertrand Duchaufour's trip to Istanbul. So you've got apple in this one. You've got pomegranate. You've got saffron, but then you have a Turkish Delight. And Turkish Delight is like a Turkish kind of candy that has rose in it, sugar, and pistachio. So it's got that candy, it's got apple, it's got pomegranate, but then it's not overly sweet. So there's some spicy notes, there's leather, there's iris, there's a tulip note in this one. It's just completely unique. I haven't smelled anything like this, I don't think. And this is another one that like no one's gonna smell like you if you wear this one. Like, you're gonna be in totally unique territory. Some people compare it to Iris Ganache. I don't think that's true. I think this is a lot different than Iris Ganache. But if you can do like $150, I think this is a really good option. And then if you want to do $200 or over, and I really can't see spending more than like $250, $300 on a gourmand fragrance, because they're not using like any very like expensive materials to make them. There's really not a reason why fragrances should be over that point. But you know, the three options I'd sort of go with, You know, I think Amber Narguilé by Hermes is a great option. I mean, that's as close to apple pie in a tasteful way as you're going to get from a fragrance. That I want to say that's like 250, 270, 280 maybe for the big bottle. I do have that. You know, you could do Lyra by Xerjoff. That's another good one. That's got a beautiful vanilla caramel fragrance. You can do, you know, Dries Van Noten by Frederic Malle, which is meant to smell like a French bakery. You know, that's another one you could do. Like, you definitely have a lot of good options. There's some Gourmands, you know. You could do, you could do Tonka Imperial. You could do Spiritueux Double Vanille if that's what you're into. The one that I really like at this price point, that to me is just the most elegant, is this guy. And this is Intoxicated by Kilian. You know, this comes, I think, I know they changed their packaging. I think these still come, though, with this beautiful, you know, like, it's not a coffin, it's just like a lacquered box that you could just, I mean, it's a beautiful piece to just like have on a nightstand, put change in or put keys in or stuff like that. But this is a wonderful fragrance by Khalees Becker. You know, this is like, so this does smell a lot like Angel Man. I'm not going to lie to you, but like, this is sort of like if you give like a piece of fish to like 7-Eleven and tell them to make sushi out of it and put it in the takeout window, they're going to do what they do with it. And you're going to taste that sushi and it's going to taste like this came from 7-Eleven. If you give that same piece of fish to, you know, Masa, or, you know, the chefs at Sushi Yasuda or Jiro, you know, from the film Dream, you know, Jiro Dreams, you're going to get a completely different type of sushi, the fish is going to taste completely different. So that formula, that sort of DNA of Angel Men by Terry Mugler, well, I'm not going to say that's 7-Eleven, but that's certainly rough around the edges. There's that prominent tar note. It's a little tough to take, right? This one done by Khalees Becker, this is just a smooth, beautiful gourmand that smells like a freshly pulled cup of the finest Turkish coffee you could get. Like what a sultan would be wearing before he has someone beat to death in front of him. Like, this is just, man, this is so sauced. It's just strong. It's like every note shines through, so you could tell they used high quality essential oils and absolutes. It's great. It's really nice, and it comes in a really nice bottle. The presentation's great on this one. So I think it's $270, but that's sort of the gourmand. I recommend that price point. So again, you got like $5-10. Take a look at Choco Musk by Al Rehab. You got that $20 price range. Take a look at Animal. You could go $70-80. Take a look at Womo by Valentino. You know, also Womo by Ferragamo. And Dior Homme. You could do around 100. Take a look at Paris LA. You could go over 100. Don't want to spend 200, take a look at Traversy du Boss 4. If you go over 200, take a look at Intoxicated by Kilian. But again, you don't have to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars to smell the way, to have a good gourmand fragrance. Now again, you could pick a couple fragrances from what we did last week. Like, you know, if I was trying to do an ultimate like collection for not a ton of money, you know, I would take this for like $60. And I would take, from last week, you know, I'd probably take Sartorial, you know, for like $100. Have $150 fragrance. Or, you know, even, I forget which designer I used from last, I mean, you know, I might even just take a Zara, to be honest with you, a Zara Pour Homme for like $20-30. Find this for like $60, or, you know, Ferragamo, Womo, and put those together, and for like $70 you've got two fragrances. And it just shows you could take like 5 categories, and for like $250 you can have a very good fragrance collection. You don't need to be maniacs like some of the people whose videos you watch, me included, who have hundreds and hundreds of it's stupid to have that many fragrances. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, these are gourmands. Let me know what category you want to see me do next, because I think, let me just see. I know I feel like I wrote down somewhere which Next week, I'm going to sort of do spring fragrances I'm excited for this year. So that's going to be next week's video. But I think the next affordable one we're going to do is going to be citruses. I think we're going to do like affordable citrus fragrances. But if there's a genre you want to see, definitely drop a comment and I'll try to get to it, guys. I want to thank you all again so much for watching my videos. I'm not going to tell you to get vaccinated again. I feel like I've said that too many times. But be safe out there, guys. And again, I want to thank you all so much for watching.
Unstrapped from the chair, put him back in his cage. The audience ain't phased, then they ain't gon' clap and they ain't gon' praise. They want everything back that they paid, cause they've been waiting since 10.